Hey, Statesmen Nation, welcome to the first Coaches Podcast of the year, and a big welcome to Mr. Andy Commins, the new head women's soccer coach for William Penn University. Statesman Andy, thanks for coming on with us today.
Thanks for letting me come.
So this is going to be Andy's first time with us on one of these shows, so we're very excited to have him on. Andy has an extensive history in both soccer and as well as a long military background. He was a member of the military from 87 to 14 as a soldier and an infantry officer, and he comes to us from the United States Merchant Marine Academy, where he was the first women's soccer coach in program history over there, as well as being the goalkeepers coach for Grandview for the past 3 seasons. So Andy, we're just going to get right into it, and I kind of want to, just so you guys know, on these kinds of shows, we're going to have a few more this year, and these shows are very much just about getting to know our coaches. So we just like to learn where they came from and how they came to get to what they do and how they do the things that they do. So with that being said, I just kind of want to ask about some of your earlier soccer background. So you mentioned to us before that you grew up in Germany for the first good part of your life, kind of between the United States and Germany. You said till you were about 13 years old.
Yeah.
So what was kind of the soccer scene in Germany during that time period? Like how big was it there compared to here?
Oh man, there's really no comparison. What you got to understand is that pretty much outside the United States and especially Europe, South and Central America and stuff, soccer is the sport.
Mm-hmm.
There may be other sports, but they don't matter, and it's a religion more than anything else. So when you play in Germany for the youth levels, and don't get me wrong, and they have kids that just play rec and those kind of things. Not everybody's competitive and stuff like that, but everybody plays.
Yeah.
And everybody follows a team and has a great knowledge of the game and those kind of things like that. So it was actually a bit of a culture shock coming from Germany back to the States on the soccer scene. Because in the early 80s to late, really up until the mid 90s, it was a niche sport.
Yeah.
It was much on TV,
Mm-hmm.
So what did bring you to the States?
Well, my dad is retired military as well.
Okay.
So
Was he Marine Corps as well, or was he?
He was in. My dad is actually opposite of me. He started in the Army and finished in the Marine Corps. And I started in the Marine Corps and finished in the Army, so a little bit opposite. But in the time that we lived in Germany and everything, my dad was in the Army. Yeah.
Okay, so on here we have that you also played in an international league while you were stationed in Korea, so you've kind of seen a bit of the international scene both in Germany and from there. So
yeah, one of the great opportunities I had being in the military is I played just about everywhere that I had an opportunity to, where you get stationed and stuff like that. So as an adult, probably, some of the best and most high level soccer I played was in kind of semi-pro international league in Korea. And we had a team that was all made up of soldiers.
Okay.
And so some officers and some enlisted guys on the DNF thing, and we were pretty competitive. We won. I think our most competitive thing is we won an indoor tournament, the Seoul International Indoor Tournament that 1 year.
That's cool.
That was pretty cool.
That's cool.
So for those, do you play against other quote unquote college teams like that in Korea, or is it like playing against professionals or kind of a mix? Or how's
Well, and that is another hard thing to kind of cross over and the examples, because most other places I've been in the world, college athletics aren't a thing.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just not a thing, right? And so, I'll give you an example. For my cousin, who is close to me like a sister, her husband, they live in his town, but like his local club, the one that their kids played in, and all those kind of things like that, they offer soccer from like 5 to an over 40s team.
Wow.
Okay.
And so you have people that grow up in this town that have played at every age group going up, and so there's very much you can go see 40, 50 and 60-year-old men and women playing soccer on teams. That's how old it goes up. So, so they have U18, U20, U22, U24 leagues, or those kind. Actually, after U22, it usually goes into just like the adult league, and that's your competitive team for your club.
Okay.
So as you've been in all these different places and seen all these different levels and styles of soccer, then you come back to America and start your coaching career. Have you taken anything that you've seen in these international styles and kind of incorporated them into your own coaching style here, or is it kind of this, or are things kind of similar overseas as they are here?
Well, the one thing about the beautiful game is it's the same everywhere you go,
Okay.
except for Iowa High School, who has their own rules. That being said, it's really interesting. I think 20 years ago, you would say that each kind of nation has their style of play. It's very insulated, but
Okay.
like with the modern world and internet, and now, once the EU came along and player passports, players can play anywhere in the, European Union, and coaches and stuff like that. I think everybody kind of has a amalgamism of playing styles
Sure.
now, and playing styles really, there is a definitive sort of Spanish style of play for a long time, the tiki-taka style and those kind of things like that. But I think we're growing into styles evolve with the players that you have on the team, because coaches are from all over the place, and everybody kind of shares from everybody else.
Mm-hmm. So you said earlier that your dad was Army first,
Yeah.
and then he went to Marines. So what kind of got you into the whole military? Was it him, or was it more of kind of like, how'd you get into the military?
It's a funny thing. I think you've probably heard on election stuff that 1% of people in the United States join the military now.
Sure.
But you have a lot of, it's almost like a family business.
Yes.
Okay.
And really the reason for this is I don't think any parent, like both my kids are in right now, and that was never the intent.
Yeah.
Yep.
But it becomes a viable option, and you know about it, you grew up around it, you're comfortable with it.
Yeah.
And that is the big thing for a lot of people, probably you guys included. If somebody said you have to go join tomorrow, you're like, I don't know anything about it, right? I don't, what you see on TV, but you don't know how day-to-day works and all those kind of things like that. And all of the screaming and yelling is blowing way out of proportion and all that kind of stuff like that. So I think that happens quite a bit. And for me, I gotta be honest, I put all my eggs in one basket. But I didn't hit puberty till I was 35 years old. So, when I got ready to graduate from high school, and whether it was going back and living with my family in Germany or going to college, nobody had need for a 5'6" goalkeeper. It just wasn't going to happen, right? And so I had to shift gears pretty quickly, because to be honest, I probably in high school I didn't put the effort into my grades that I probably should have.
Sure.
So, and then the military became an option for me. So.
Did you want to play professionally? Was that kind of the goal out of high school, or?
Yeah, I just wanted to continue to play, right?
play.
To take it as far, and I grew after I joined the service. I grew like 5 or 6 inches, so it's just it is what it is.
I'm still kind of hoping for that growth spurt for me. Just get over 6 foot mark, but I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. So you mentioned that you were a goalkeeper, a 5'6" one at that. But at any point in your high school career, actually, I'll phrase it like this: like when in your soccer career did you kind of think about becoming a coach?
I coached my first team when I was 15 years old.
Oh, wow.
I was lucky enough that when we moved to the States, we lived either in Southern California or in Las Vegas, based on the job that my dad had at the time. And both of them had some of the best soccer communities in the United States and the culture. I was lucky enough that when we were in Las Vegas, there was a professional indoor team, and they had bought a roller skating rink and turned it into an indoor soccer park kind of thing, where they practice and then you could use it. And that was where I started my coaching. We're gym rats. We were in there almost every day, because I was a ball boy for that pro team too, and we were just in there every day. And more than likely, being old now, I know what happened. I'm probably pretty sure the owner manager got sick of seeing us and was just like, we're gonna put them to work because they're here every day anyways. And so it's basically, you guys want to coach, and you're kind of like, why not? And then, at 15, the bug kind of bit me. I always knew in the back of my head coaching was something I was going to do.
Okay.
But I was fortunate. My dad is an athlete. My dad coached a lot of my teams growing up. So there was whether it was basketball or baseball, there was an example set there.
What age groups did you coach? would it have been?
When I was 15,
Yeah.
they're probably U8, U10.
U10. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know if they were kind of the same age because I was
No.
I was going to ask you how that kind of dynamic went.
No. And that's the thing. It's still good. When I ran the club up in Altoona, I would bring in the high school age kids to help out and coach the really little ones and stuff like that. So.
Okay. So you got your high school players to kind of do what you did back when you were 15?
Yeah. Yep. So I'm happy to say one of my girls that graduated last year is going to start coaching at the club I came from next year, which I think is just
Cool.
fantastic.
That's very cool.
So
you're coming over here from Grandview, where you were in charge of the goalkeepers over there. Does it help when you're coming to William Penn, does it help to already kind of have a good understanding of the conference when you're coming to a new school?
Well, that absolutely helps, right?
I think so.
It can't hurt. It does. And I think it's going to probably pay more dividends the further we go into the season, right?
Sure.
I have a reasonable expectation of what is out there right now and an understanding of it, and have met the coaches, know the teams, and know the travel times and all those kind of things like that. What I don't know well enough yet is my new team, and I think after I get to know them, I think that's where knowing the conference is going to be able to have a little bit of dividends and understanding where we fit in that mix.
Yeah, kind of add on to that. I'm actually just a graduate of Graceland, so I'm kind of transitioning to a different team in the conference too. So it's kind of nice to have somebody else kind of in that boat with me. But it's definitely kind of nice to know the conference. But
I would think so. I'm not an athlete anymore, so I don't know anything about that.
I mean, not to be biased, the Hart Conference is the only conference that I've kind of been in college, but I don't really have any complaints with them. I mean, it's just a great conference, great people in general.
And I'm lucky enough that my previous athletic director when I was at Wentworth was in the Hart for a long time.
Okay.
And our sports information director there is, I don't know if she still is, but she was up until this summer. Shelby was the sports information director for the Hart Conference.
Yep. I believe she still is.
Yeah, and I don't know. She just
sure.
took a assistant athletic director job in California.
Oh,
I see.
And so she's been doing both
Okay.
for a couple of months, and I'm not sure what her plans are at this point to continue to do it. But so she has a deep knowledge of the Heart too, and it's good to be able to call them and pick brains and points of contacts and those kind of things like that.
Yep. Do you have anything else? All right, we're gonna move into the harder questions now. Okay.
All right, let's go.
All right, we're gonna start at the top. What animal would be the most terrifying if it could speak?
If you don't say your own personal dog, you're lying.
That's a good answer. That's a very good answer.
Because your own personal pet dog at home sees everything you do and how you do it.
That's a very good answer. Okay, how about aside from that?
I've thought about that question for a while, and I was trying to think of an answer, but I've never thought of that because it's just never popped in my head.
Okay, how about an animal that you just I don't want to say walk up to on the street because that's not good, but
what would I be most afraid of?
That if it could start speaking.
Oh, start speaking. I don't know. I just can't stand snakes and spiders. But
Okay, yeah,
that scene in Harry Potter with the big giant spider? That's creepy.
I can't watch that one.
Yeah. I don't know. I think if animals could speak on the whole, it would be really interesting.
That's probably fair. Snakes and spiders, I could get behind it for sure though.
So to kind of transition with that, so I got a question then. So this isn't planned at all. We didn't know that you didn't like spiders.
This is a good
So
transition.
there's kind of another question I want to ask to this one too. So how much would you have to pay somebody to eat a live spider?
Or how much would
somebody have to pay you to eat a live spider?
Well, to be fair, I've eaten a live spider on more than one occasion.
On purpose?
What's that?
On purpose?
Yeah, it's
Was it a bet?
survival type scenarios and bets and being young and dumb and those kind of things like that. So now, and also depending on what kind of spider it is, but a significant amount of money.
That's kind of what my answer was going to be. I don't know if there's a money
spiders don't freak me out too much. It's just when you're sleeping outside and stuff, it's like them crawling up in you,
fair.
or when you're walking through the woods and one drops on your neck. That's kind of freaks you out.
That's super fair. I already don't like if they're high up on my kitchen wall, so I can't even imagine that.
But most of the domestic spiders in your house are good because they kill all
they're
the
not
other
too
stuff.
bad.
But I don't want to take the time to
I've
differentiate.
been in some jungles and stuff like that where
So you've probably seen a lot more of the worst spiders in the world.
Have you ever seen a look up the picture of a camel spider.
No,
I've
thanks.
seen them, and
Iraq.
I just don't
I'm gonna
want
pass
to.
on that one, honestly. But thank you for telling me. So, next one from me. If there was going to be a movie about you,
Oh,
who would you choose to star as you?
wow, that's a good question. I have to think about it.
It's one that I can never find an answer to. Just because I never think.
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
Ooh, that's a
Why
good
Matt
one.
Damon?
I think he's really flexible. Plus, I like the Bourne movies.
That's fair.
But did you see him in that movie where he played the South African rugby player for the Springboks?
I don't think so. What movie was that?
I can't. It's a really good movie.
I think I might know what you're talking about, but was that
It's like in the Mandela era.
was that Invictus?
Invictus, yes,
Okay.
Invictus. Great movie, and I thought he was fantastic in it, and like it got shape, and he, you know, obviously he's not as big as a real rugby player, but
Yeah.
you know, he
Yeah,
kind
yeah.
of pulled it off, you know, in the training he did before. I just think he's believable, so, you know. And
I like that. Nick Rule chose Brad Pitt, I think, when we asked him that question.
well, okay.
And then my last question that I have is, if everything in your house had to be one color, what would it be?
Oof. Okay, I'm a guy that likes bright colors, even in my house, so that would be tough. Honestly, I'd probably go with white.
White. A solid answer.
'Cause
Okay.
that would be the least depressing of
Sure.
one color.
That's probably
I
fair.
think any other color that everything in your life was that color would get real depressing real quick.
Is that like just one, or if you were to have like one color but all the shades of it, like dark blue to light blue, would that change your answer at all, or would that?
Well,
kinda...
no, that's a different question. Huh. Probably go with maybe shades of orange then.
Oh,
That's what
interesting.
I like that, because my grandma just painted her house and she changed from blue to orange, and she said she's kind of wanted to paint her whole house orange now. So I'm not too sure about that, but
See, I'm biased because I'm colorblind, but I'm a big gray guy, so I could go for some good
Yeah.
grayscale. So,
Grayscale is also well. You see, we're getting a whole other thing, interior decorating and design. But grayscale is great for walls and everything
Yes.
if you're going to use your furniture and other things for the pops of color,
right.
which is
Sure.
kind of how my house looks right now.
That makes sense. Yeah, that's not really my thing. I just kind of put colors together, and it drives everybody else nuts because I don't really care that they clash. But anyways, so I believe that's going to be all from us. Did you have anything that you want to say to all of the Statesmen viewers before we sign off?
Only that I'm excited to be here, and I've been working for about 3 weeks right now, and really love the university and the people that I'm working with, and I look forward to bringing on the program.
Actually, I got one question because I actually just got here in, I want to say June 9th. I think it's
Something
my
like that.
first month and a week in here.
Mhm.
What was the first thing about William Penn that really surprised you or really like got your attention?
That's a good question, actually.
One, facilities. But I had
agree.
been here before. I had brought teams to play in some indoor tournaments and stuff like that. But I don't remember them being like this. The
Right.
pack is amazing.
Pack is
the
incredible.
stadium
Yep.
and the fields over there are, you know, fantastic. So for a small NAI or D3 type schools, I can't think of anybody else that has facilities as good.
I can't either.
So that would be my first.
Mhm.
By the way, I can't stand Graceland's soccer field. It's like a postage stamp.
I'm plead the fifth, and I will just let you answer the next part of that.
So yeah, it's like this tiny little postage stamp up on top of a hill. I never got it, but and then the other point is everybody talks a big game when you're going through a job interview process or something. You know that this is a family atmosphere and we're a team and it's great and blah blah blah. But there's nothing I have been seen in the couple weeks that I did virtually and the couple weeks that I've been in campus that's not the case here, and that's pretty awesome. Happy to be back in Iowa because of that reason, because Iowa Nice is a thing.
Iowa Nice is definitely a thing. A lot of people, and you probably don't know as much, but like if you grew up in Iowa, Iowa Nice is a whole different thing. Like,
It's a thing.
it's a thing that not many people know. And they're
New
like,
York
"Oh,
Nice.
whatever."
New York Nice is not a thing.
No.
California is certainly not a thing. But I can enjoy Iowa nice. This is the first time I've ever heard that phrase.
Yeah,
So
it's Iowa people are a lot. They're just a different kind of nice.
Are you from California?
I am.
Where at?
Southern California, Huntington Beach.
Bro, I spent a lot of time in Huntington Beach. Yeah, I was stationed at Camp Pendleton in Southern California for a while, and my dad's from Covina.
Okay.
So we spent a lot of time going to the beaches and spending time in Southern California after we moved back from Germany. So yeah.
Jordan actually just broke this office's streak of all Huntington Beach graduate assistants. The previous 3, including me, were all from Huntington Beach, and then he just had to come in here and be from Iowa.
But your mayor is Tito Ortiz, isn't it?
I don't know if he's the mayor anymore, but
I think he just resigned. I think he just resigned.
City council or something or another, and I don't know. I always forget that he's like from there. It's weird.
Well, he's the Huntington Beach bad boy.
I was never going to say that, but whatever. Huntington Beach alumni of something or another, but I'm obviously doing. Actually, you know what? I'm doing more cool things than Tito Ortiz. I'm here, and he's still there. So
he's still there.
That's what we got going on. I think that's going to be just about enough from me, from Jordan, from Andy. Thank you so much for coming on.
Appreciate
We're
it.
very
Thanks for having
excited
me.
to have you on campus, and we can't wait to see what's going to come from you guys this year. And we'll catch up with you in about a month for your preseason preview.
Thank you very much, gentlemen.
From all of us at the Athletic Communications Department, this has been the first Coaches Podcast of the year, and we'll catch you next time here on the Statesmen Sports Network.